Now again, we are going to start with the grammar section. Last time, I think we talked about the present perfect. We said, present perfect is with, actions started in the past, happening up to now, and continue in the future. But this is, the present perfect tense. Now, in our lesson, we are going to use the present perfect progressive, which focus on in time, the duration of time. Now, with examples, we are going to explain, the present perfect progressive. Also, we are going to use the simple present perfect simple. We're going to differentiate between the present perfect and present perfect progressive. Then we are going to talk about, the adjectives, followed by prepositions. When we have adjectives followed by prepositions, we have to use what? Gerund. Now, if we ask you, what do we mean by gerund? Gerund is what? Verb with good. Verb with ing form used as a noun. Like swim, swimming. Swimming is very useful for you. Reading books is interesting. Reading. Here, this is a gerund, and it is used as what? As a noun, not a verb. Good. Look at your books on page 22. Now, when we say present perfect progressive and the present perfect, it means what? Here we are going to show the difference between them. Who wants to read, the definition? Yes. Read the definition.
Progressive and really perfect simple. User present progressive to talk about action or situation has been begun in the past and continued into the present.
Good. You realize that here we use the present perfect progressive. We use the present perfect progressive. You have, has, plus been, plus verb ing form. To talk about an action or situation started in the past and continues up to now in the present. This is the use of the present perfect progressive. I have been studying, I have been teaching English for 20 years, started in the past, doing the action up to now, and may continue where? In the future. Yes. Yes, good. Very good. So if you want to focus on time, started in the past, happening up to now, but focusing on the duration of time, we use the present perfect progressive. Good. But the present perfect, simple, who have, has, plus, verb 3. We use it with things, that what? Have done. We use the present perfect with, let us say, the quantities, with things have done. For example, if you want to ask about how many times, how many things, how many books have you studied, for example? If you want to focus on, the number of things, done in the past, and, happening up to now, we use the present perfect. But if you want to focus on, the time, we use the present perfect progressive. Look at the examples. Who can read the first example under, the present perfect progressive?
Mister.
1 minute, Wallah.
Khalil has been reading the book for
Okay, you realize here we focus on what, Ahmed? Your name? Walid. Where's the time? Good. So here we want to focus on four. Time. Very good. أحسنت يا وليد. So you realize here we focus on time. Look here. Hanan has been reading a book for 2 hours. So she started, 2 hours ago. Still what? Reading up to now, and she may what? Continue in the future. So here we use the present perfect progressive because we focus on time. Okay? Right. Who can read, the next here under the present perfect? Let me choose from the online. Yes, Muhammad Jablawi. Read here.
Okay. She has read 30 pages.
Good. You realize that here we focus on what?
What?
Focus on, the number of things, have been done or have been
Number,
achieved.
yes. So, Mr. In the present perfect progressive, we focus on time.
Good, but in present perfect, you realize here we focus on the number that we have achieved. Look at the question. How many pages have you read? Asking about number. I have read 30 pages. We cannot say I have been reading for 30 pages. This is wrong. We cannot say I have been reading for 30 pages. No, this is incorrect. If you want to focus on the number you have achieved, we have to use the present perfect. I have read 30 pages. If you want to focus on time, you will say, I have been reading for 2 hours. I have been reading since 9 o'clock. I think it is clear. You know the difference between the present perfect progressive and the present perfect. With the present perfect progressive, we focus on time. Showing, the duration of time that has been something that has been what? Happening. But if you want to focus on, the numbers of things that you have done, we will use what? The present perfect. Look here. With the present perfect, we ask with what? How long? If you want to ask about the duration of time, we ask with how long? Walid, read the question here. How long have you been reading that book? Yes, how long have you been reading that book? I have been reading that book, for 2 hours, for 2 days. So here we focus on what, Walid? On time. But if you want to focus on, the number of things done, we use the present perfect. When we ask about the quantity, we ask with how many. Who can read the question? Yes, Hamza.
How many pages have you read?
Good. How many pages have you read? How many pages have you read? If I ask about the number of things, done, we do not use the present perfect progressive. We use the present perfect, just the present perfect. Look at the next example about Saeed. Who wants to read? Yes, ya Mu'tasam, are you here? Yusuf Mu'tasam.
Yes, Mr. Yes.
Okay, read, the third example here. Look at the arrow.
Saeed has been playing football since he was 10. Present perfect simple. He has played for 3 different teams.
Very good. So here you realize we have 2 actions. The first one, which is both focusing on time, we use what? The present perfect progressive. Saeed has been playing football. سعيد بيلعب كرة منذ أن كم كان عمره؟ since he was 10 up to now. And you know he is playing up to now, okay? And he may continue on playing in the future. But we focus on what? And focus on time. Look here, since he was 10. Since he was 10. Now, if you want to focus on the numbers of the teams which he has played for, we use the present day. Here, he has played for 3 teams, for 3 different teams. And in the future may, he may play with another team. But up to now, he has played with 3 teams. We focus on the number. Okay? Number of things. How many things? How many, let us say, how many teams has he played? He has played for what? 3 teams. And then again, if you want to focus on time, you have to use the present perfect program. If you want to focus on things or numbers you have achieved, we use the present perfect. Both of them, used with action started in the past, happening up to now, continue in the future. Look here, I have read 50 pages. I'm still reading, If you ask me after, for example, 2 hours, I will say that I have read 80 pages. So, the action is still happening up to now, but it started where? In the past. So this is about the difference between the present progressive and the present perfect simple. If there is here number of things, we use the present perfect. If there is time, here we use what? Present perfect progressive. Okay, now let's move to the next structure. Here we are going to use, the adjectives. We have some adjectives that followed by what? Preposition. If we have adjectives followed by prepositions, these kind of, let us say, adjectives must be followed by what? Gerund. When we say gerund, it means what? Verb with ing form. Verb with ing form. I'm good at using computers. Where is the preposition? Where's the preposition? Actually, the first example. At. Now here we have a verb, use, but preceded by a preposition. So here we have to use the gerund. Gerund means using the verb with ing form and it's used as a noun. Okay, read the second example. Yes, Amr al-Momani, where are you? Bashar, are you here?
Yes, Mr. I'm here. Yes, I'm here.
Okay, read the examples here under the adjective preposition gerund.
I'm good at using computers. I am interested in working outdoors.
Good, that's enough, thank you. I'm interested in working outdoors. I'm interested in. Here we have in, the preposition must be followed by what? ING. Yes, ing for the word job. Now what about, the next question here? There's example, sorry, yes? Go ahead.
I'm not very good at speaking in public.
Good, I'm not very good at, speaking in public. Next. Yes. I'm not. Good, I'm not interested in working in the computer industry. So this is about, the adjectives followed by the prepositions, followed by gerund. Okay, now just to revise you here, present perfect progressive. If you want, we use what? How long something has been happening? Asking about what? The duration of time. if you want to, if you want to talk about the duration of time, we use what? The present perfect progressive. هو have, has, been, verb with ing form. Who can read the example? Here. Yes. Hussein, are you here? Hussein.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
go
yes.
ahead, Hussein. Yalla, Hussein.
How
Please,
long
Hussein.
something has been happening? We have been reading a novel for 2 hours.
Good. Another example. Yeah.
Read?
Walid. No, Walid. Go ahead, Walid.
She has been studying since 28.
Good. She has been studying English since, 2018. Started in 2018 and, she still have, studying up to, and, she may continue in the future. Okay, now, you realize here we شغال ولا اجي لك شويه؟ طيب بدل على She has been studying English since 2018. Started in the past, happening up to now, continue in the future, focusing on one time, or focusing on the duration of time. Now, Sir, read the question, Yusuf.
How long something,
Here.
how long have you been playing football?
How long have you been playing football? Good. So we asked about what? Time, about the duration of time. Good. Now, if you want to answer, I have been playing football since 1990. I have been, playing football for around 20 years. Okay, now, if you look at the present perfect, we use what? Have, has, plus verb 3. Who can read? Yes, Amir.
How many things have, or how many times?
Good. If you want to use the present perfect here, we use asking about, the number of things done in the past. And, we ask with how many things. How many things have you been done or how many times? How many books have you studied during your life up to now? How many books have you studied? Who can read the example? Yes. Yes, sir.
They have eaten the pizza 3 times.
Good. They have eaten the pizza here 3 times. Yes.
He has read 10 books.
طيب. شوي بعد شوي. بعد شوي. Okay. Okay. He has read 10 books. The action started in the past, still happening up to now, continue in the future. Focus on what? The number here, the number of things have been, achieved. He has read 10 books. Okay, so here we have to use the present perfect with, the number of things have done. Who can read the question? Yes. Abdurrahman Yasser. Abdurrahman. Aslam.
أستاذ
Read the question here. How many
أي وحدة
games?
How many games have you played?
Good. How many games have you played? Here we asked about the number of things. How many games have you played? I have played 6 games. And I may continue in the future. Now look at, the form of the present perfect progressive, the present perfect simple. Have, has, been, plus verb ing, etc. We use how long if you want to ask about the duration of time. If you want to ask about the number of things, we use what? How many times, things, etc. Okay. Here we talked about the adjective, preposition, gerund. I'm good at using computers and so on. I think it is easy for you. The adjective plus the preposition and what? The gerund. The adjective always what? Describe what? A noun.
Noun.
Yes. The prepositions like here we have examples for the preposition and at, from, etc. And the gerund, the word verb plus ing used as a noun. A verb ending in ing form that is used as a noun. She's good at driving. Drive, the verb driving. Now here is what is a noun. Yes. Yes. B. I'm good at swimming, etc. I'm interested in reading. Okay, now look at your books on page 22. Look at your books on page 22. Page 22. Okay, in exercise A, read the text. The three texts about the jobs which we studied yesterday on page 20 and find sentences that are present perfect progressive and the present perfect simple. Say which ones happened all the time and which ones happened or changed from time to time. Here I think it's easy for you. If you want to go back to the previous lesson, here we underline the structures, the sentences. Look here, these PPP here present perfect progressive will PP as present perfect simple. I think it is easy. No need to do it, but just understand the exercise. Okay, now move to exercise B. We are going to choose the correct verb. Yes, what's your name? Muhammad, go ahead. Yalla. Choose the correct verb form.
I have been looking for a job for 3 months and I still haven't found one. I have been looking for.
Yes, I have been looking for a job for 3 months. You realize here we have what? Time. I'm just looking up to now, but started in the past. So we focus on what, ya Walid? On time. I have been looking for a job for 3 months. And I still good, haven't one. I still haven't one. Finding one. No, haven't one, because here we focus on the number. Oh, just one. Not here, there's no time. Number 2. Number 2. Yes, Tawfiq. Yes, Tawfiq.
My father has worked at many different jobs during his career.
Good. My father has worked. Here we use present perfect because here we have different jobs. Number. We can say 3 jobs. So here we focus on the number. My father has worked at many different jobs during his career.
Mr. Can I ask?
Yes, yeah, Bashar, go ahead.
Adnan has been writing books for years.
Good. Adnan. Adnan has been writing books for years. Good. Here we focus on what? On time. But he, yes, sir. Yes, here and a word here. A word here, one. So we use what? The present perfect. Adnan has been writing books for years, but he hasn't received, an award yet. The last,
Mister,
yes,
can I answer?
raise your hand, yeah. Okay, Yusuf Muhammad, Yusuf. Yusuf,
Okay. How many pages of the book have you read?
good, have you read? Good, thank you. How many pages? Asking about, the numbers of things, done. Good. So if you want to focus on the number of things done, we have to use the present perfect. If you want to focus on the time, the duration of time, we use the present perfect to progress. Good. Okay, now let's move to exercise C. Here we have the questions. We are going to answer the following questions using what? The present perfect. According to the what? To the question. Present perfect or present perfect progress. Number one. Say. Write answers to the following questions about your study of English.
How long have you been studying English? I have been studying English since the number.
Good. Now here we have different answers, okay? But you have to focus on time because, the question asked about what the duration of time. How long have you been studying English? I have been studying English for 6 years, 7 years, since I was, 5 years old, etc. Number two, yes. Ahmed Smadi.
How many English teachers have you had? I had
Yes.
I have two teachers.
Good. I have, I have had 3 teachers. Good. How many English teachers? Asking about the number. Yes, Yusuf Mu'tasim, number 3.
How many books have you used? I've used many books.
Good. I have used many books. I have used 5 books. That's up to you. Yes. Next. Go ahead.
How long have you been using this book?
For 3 weeks. This book, I have been using this book for 3 weeks or for 4 weeks. Good. For a month. Good. Okay, now move to D. Work with a partner. Make sentences. Follow the example. Who can read the example? Yes, Yusuf. Read the example. Hakim, photography, studio.
Hakim's been okay. Hakim photography studio 1 year taking pictures. Photographer. Hakim's been working at a photography studio for a year. He's good at taking pictures and he's interested in becoming a photographer.
Good, thank you. Number 1. Who wants to do the example? Number 1. Who can do it? I think it is easy. Faiz, Yalla Muhammad, has been
working for 6 months.
in a restaurant, for 6 months. Good. He's good at what? Baking things. Baking because we have that. And, he's interested in becoming a chef. Good. Look at the example. Faiz has been working in a restaurant for 6 months. He's good at baking things and he's interested in becoming a chef. Number 2. Ahmed.
Rahab have been nursing in home for 2 years. She helped already and she interested in nursing.
Good. Rahaf has been working in a nursing home for 2 years. She's good at helping all, ladies, and she's interested in becoming a nurse. The last one. Yes. Go ahead. Yahya. Yahya has been working for a newspaper for a while. He is good at what? He is good at interviewing people, and he is interested in what? Becoming a reporter. Good. Thank you very much, Shabab.
Mr. There is no space.
Don't worry about that. Just do one of them and leave the others. Just, here, no need to write all the sentences. Just, understand them. You can picture them and, send it to the group. Picture them and send it to the group.
خلصنا اشتغل.
Okay. Okay, that's enough.
Mr. May, you return. I want to picture it.
Okay, 1 minute. Okay.